What is going on, Arizona sports fan family? How are we doing out here today on this Tuesday morning, ladies and gentlemen? We are here to open up another stream to talk everything Arizona Cardinals, your favorite team, my favorite team. We are here to talk about the last two candidates for the Arizona Cardinals, or at least seems to be the last two candidates for the Arizona Cardinals, right? Big shout out to the people that are currently in the chat right now. What's up, everybody? Appreciate you guys for tuning in. We have a fun-filled show for you today. But first, let me go ahead and take some time to talk about our sponsor of this video, Underdog Fantasy, ladies and gentlemen. If you guys haven't already downloaded the app, I highly recommend you do so right now. If you use promo code AZSF, they will match your deposit up to $100. And with the big game coming your way, you have an opportunity to win some money, ladies and gentlemen. They got a really cool, exciting a game going on called Pick'em. It's really easy to do. Really easy to do. Let me go ahead and just share my screen here real quick, just so you could take a look at it in terms of how easy this is to do. Now, right now, they do have another promotion going on pertaining to this Pick'em game. They do got a situation going on with Jalen Hurts where it's like pretty easy money. But if you want to do this, it's as easy as this. Obviously, you have to have money to go ahead and play this. But basically, if you're going to go ahead and put some money on the big game, you got some options: Patrick Mahomes, Isaiah Pacheco, Jerick McKinnon. But all you need to do is you're reading this stuff right here, right? So it's going to say 25.5 completions. Do you think that he's going to have a higher game or a lower game? It's as simple as that. You're going to go basically step by step. Travis Kelce, do you think he's going to have 7.5 more receptions or lower than 7.5 receptions in the big game? And obviously, the more you vote, you can do up to 5 and you can 20 times your money. So if I go ahead and put $5 here, I can win $15. But the more people I do on here, you get more and more payout right now. So right now, there is a special promotion going on with Underdog Fantasy, and this is exactly what it is going on. You got pretty much a free I guess you want to call it a free little spot, right? So right now, site-wide, this is going to be available, I believe, in the later part of February the 9th, where there's a total yardage for Jalen Hurts at 0.5. So you obviously want to go with the higher, right? Because you know that Jalen Hurts is going to get more than that. So right now, you can actually take advantage of that, where you can get a free opportunity to get Jalen Hurts and free money as long as all 5 of them match up for you. So, ladies and gentlemen, download Underdog Fantasy today. Use promo code AZSF so you can get your deposit matched. But let's dive right into it, ladies and gentlemen. We got a lot to talk about. I already heard a lot of Arizona Cardinal fans talking about how it is over. The Arizona Cardinals aren't going to go anywhere. We completely fumbled this head coaching search. I've heard it all already. I've already heard it all. Now, I'm one of those that, I'm not in that same boat right now. I truly, I'm not in that same boat as of right now as most Cardinal fans. Well, I'm not going to say most Cardinal fans, but, a good majority of the loud ones that are coming out, they're saying, oh my God, it's over. It's over. The Arizona Cardinals fumbled it. I'm not there. Now, to me, what hurt me more than this Brian Flores thing was that Sean Payton obviously is not a coach of the Arizona Cardinals. That hurt, right? Now, I can tell you right now, in 2 to 3 days, it's going to get better. I promise you. This Brian Flores thing will ship away. The smoke will settle and everything will be good to go. I get the big narrative that's out there right now, right? I get the big narrative that's out there. The fact that nobody wants to be the Arizona Cardinals head coach, right? Everybody wants to talk about all the people that ignored us, right? All the people that declined us, but nobody wants to talk about the people that we declined, right? Your Brian Callahan, your Aaron Glenn, right? Any of the other people that we, declined as being a head coach of the Arizona Cardinals. So we're seeing a lot of people giving already a negative thought going into 2023 season. I'm not in that boat. Michael Bidwell has given us great things because of the situation that we're in, right? He fired Steve Keim. He fired Cliff Kingsbury on a 5-year extension. So let's allow this man to cook. Let's allow this man to get to a level that we all want to get to, right? Now, I understand that the Bidwell family has a bad rep, right? I get it. I'm right there with you. But I truly do think that Michael Bidwell wants to win. I truly think that Michael Bidwell wants to win. Now, is he somehow making these rash decisions just really quick? Probably, right? Possibly. But as of right now, I think we're in a situation where we just got to allow it to fester. We got to allow it to get to the level that we need to get to, right? Allow Michael Bidwell to cook and Monty Osenfort to cook, and let's see how it comes out. Now, you all know if this doesn't work out, I'm going to be the first one to jump on my soapbox and say something needs to happen, right? You know that. But I'm just not going to get into the boat of, oh my God, it's over, when we don't even know who the next head coach is going to be. We've already heard that Monty Osenfort was an L signing. How do we know? How do we truly know? We don't know that. And that's what I'm kind of at right now. A lot of people are the sky is falling, right? I'm not there. Well, all I know is that Michael Bidwell did the due diligence and he fired Cliff Kingsbury and Steve Keim. Now, was it too late? Yeah, some people might have said it's a little too late, but he did it, right? On a 5-year extension, he still let them go. Now, we are going to be opening up the phone lines later on in the stream because I heard it from everybody, right? I at least got 5, 6, 10 comments out there saying things like, well, Mike, it's not about Brian Flores specifically, but it's the fact that a lot of people are declining, right? A lot of people are declining the Arizona Cardinals. Here's the way that I like to look at it. If they don't want to be here and if they don't want the challenge, okay. I mean, I'm not going to beg somebody to be the head coach of the Arizona Cardinals. We know that we are riding off of potential of Kyler Murray, right? We know that we're riding off the potential of Kyler Murray and what he can become. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say that Kyler Murray is going to be the quarterback of the future into 2027, right? That's when we have him under contract. I'm not there, right? I'm not the Kyler Murray's the greatest quarterback, but I'm also not trade Kyler Murray, right? I'm right in the middle where I'm like, let's allow Kyler Murray to get one more year. And if not, we know what to do at that very moment. That's kind of where I'm at right now. So right now, we will be opening up the phone lines later on in the stream, so I'm very curious to figure out what you guys have to say because I've read a lot of comments and a lot of people aren't really happy that I'm not flipping tables and punching my head into a glass window. I don't understand it. I truly don't, but I'm going to allow this to kind of make its rounds and see what happens with Monty Osenfort and the new head coach. But let me give a shout out to my guy AZ1998 says Mahomes vouched for Kafka last night. Yes, I did hear that. Mahomes said that, but honestly, with all those situations that we hear, I'm not going to put too much weight into that, right? Like, I'm not going to put too much weight into it. Now, obviously, the biggest person that's going to need to have to prove himself is Kafka, right? Now, Patrick Mahomes is going to do anything he possibly can to make sure that his former coach is going to get a job, right? Do best by him and make sure that his lifestyle gets elevated for his family, for his bills, for his life just in general. So I'm not going to put a lot of weight into the fact that Mahomes, yes, he did vouch for him, but we've heard a lot of people vouch for their buddies, right? Or for their former colleagues, and things don't work out. The biggest person that I really want to hear from, whoever gets a job, if it is Kafka, is going to be Kafka, right? Kafka's got a huge opportunity here to turn this culture around, as well as Lou Anarumo, if he is the guy for the Arizona Cardinals. Now, right now, there seems to be 2 candidates to be a shoo-in, and I'm going to use that term shoo-in very, very, very lightly because we've already been through the ringer as Arizona Cardinal fans. We've already been through it, right? I thought we were going to bring in other people. We started bringing in different people, and now we kind of started to condense the amount of people that is going to be a potential head coach for the Arizona Cardinals. And right now in the running is Kafka and Lou Anarumo. Those seem to be the 2 people out there right now that are going to be a shoo-in, right? A shoo-in for the Arizona Cardinals head coaching position. Now, to me, Flores was never a person that I had strongly interested. Now, that might be why I'm not trying to throw myself off a bridge, right? Try to throw myself off a building. That might be why, right? That truly might be why. But I think that a lot of people were upset because of what I tweeted yesterday. Not because of what I tweeted, but I think this is why people are upset. Now, I ended up putting this tweet here yesterday. I says, now I get it. People are mad because Flores, their projection, right? The projection of who they thought was going to be the next head coach didn't get the head coaching job. Once the smoke settles, the Arizona Cardinals will bring in the right person. To me, I think that this is why more people were upset more than anything, because their projection didn't go through. Now, I get the narrative that is out there saying that nobody wants to be the head coach of the Arizona Cardinals. Mike, nobody wants to be the head coach of the Arizona Cardinals. I don't want anybody here that doesn't want to be here. It's just as simple as that. It's just as simple as that. If he doesn't want to be here, if he doesn't want to take on the challenge of Kyler Murray, right? Okay. All right. I don't want you here either. That's just the way that I like to rationalize it. Now, I get it. The rumors, the narrative, the big noise is getting very, very loud, and it's all pointing fingers to Kyler Murray, right? I would say right now that I am more on Kyler Murray's side than I am not on his side. And I think that makes a lot of people mad, right? They're like, well, Kyler Murray hasn't proved anything. No, you're right. You're 100% right. Kyler Murray hasn't proved anything. You're correct. But right now, Kyler Murray is under contract with the Arizona Cardinals. Right now, Kyler Murray is the Arizona Cardinals quarterback. So I am going to support him for one more year until he can prove me otherwise, that if he's not there or he can't play any games in this next season, then we know what to do. This is the way that I rationalize it. Right now, this coming draft, we have an opportunity to get a generational talent in the defensive line, whether it's Will Anderson or Jalen Carter. I am not going to use a first-round pick on a quarterback to appease people while we have a quarterback right now, showed potential, has an opportunity to come up and show that he can win big games, and just use it on another first-round quarterback because to appease people, right? Because they're mad. I'm not willing to do that. I want to use my first-round pick for an actual person that's going to have more of a chance, a better chance to be a star in the NFL. Now, second round pick, third round pick, fourth round pick. If you want to get a quarterback, then okay, whatever the Cardinals decide to do, okay, we'll see what happens. But to me, I do not want to miss out on an opportunity of getting Jalen Carter or Will Anderson. I'm just not there. Let me get to these two contributions. What's up, Tigo? He says, look, this narrative that no coach wants us is BS. Honestly, if they don't want the job, we're not going to do a good job anyways. Facts. Exactly. Appreciate you, Tigo. And I'm right in the same position too. So many people right now want to already kind of circle back to Cliff Kingsbury. Why? Cliff Kingsbury wasn't a good head coach. We know that. We know Michael Bidwell did one of the toughest decisions out there. He shouldn't have given him the extensions. We know that, right? I'm not going to sit here and say Michael Bidwell's doing a lot of good things because he makes some really dumb stuff. He has. Extending Cliff and extending Kime was stupid, but he did fire them. He did let them go away, and we're bringing in a new regime. This is the number one step that we need, right? If Brian Flores didn't want to be here, why do so many people jumping up on their soapbox and trying to get them to come here? I don't understand it. What's up, Jason? Sounds like VJ will stay as a DC, which is a mistake. This I do agree with. Lou Anarumo, this is my projection. I think if Lou Anarumo is the Arizona Cardinal head coach, I think that we might not see Vance Joseph. Might. And this is prediction, right? Prediction. If Kafka is going to be the Arizona Cardinal head coach, I think there is more room for VJ to stay as the defensive coordinator for the Arizona Cardinals. I do agree with this. I think that VJ, there might be a mistake that's to be had if he is to stay with the Arizona Cardinals. I think if Kafka comes in, I think VJ might be our defensive coordinator. I think if Lou Anarumo comes in, I think he might be able to bring in another person that still kind of reads that same type of defense. He could bring somebody in. And that's just my opinion. But I do agree with what you're saying there, Jason. I do agree with that. What's up, Illadre? He says, at the end of the day, whoever the coach is, we just have to hit on the draft and play our young players. Build the trenches, get rid of VJ. Exactly. Ding, 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 ding. Exactly. Yeah, I'm not standing on a soapbox here, right, and saying VJ needs to stay. Oh, no. I'm very surprised that the Arizona Cardinals have retained VJ this long, right? I am. I'm very surprised that they have retained him. Makes sense as to why they did, right? Because they did provide him an extension as well. And it might be something where Michael Bidwell is trying to cut corners, right? Try to save some cost. It might be. He made one of the biggest mistakes in extending to people that had no business of being extended, right? But here's what I'm leaning towards. I am not going to automatically start flipping tables, put my head into a glass door because of Brian Flores decided to take a for sure job because it was up to either the Broncos or the Vikings. He made a business decision. That's the way I look at it. He made a business decision. He said, okay, I have a for sure thing here. I don't know if I'm going to beat out Lou Anarumo. I don't know if I'm going to beat out Mike Kafka. I have a for sure job here with the Vikings, and I would rather be with the Vikings than I would be with the Broncos. He took the job. It is what it is. It is what it is. What's up, Aries? He says, wonder if Bidwell is forcing new head coaches to keep VJ. This is something where I hope he's not. Right? I hope it is the autonomy that we are that the new head coach actually gets. I hope he actually does allow them to get to a level where they bring in their own staff, because people do better when they're surrounded with people that kind of think the same way, right? That have that relationship amongst each other. So I hope he doesn't, but I do think if Kafka does come in, I can see him retain VJ because of him being an offensive mind, right? But I think if Lou Anarumo is the Arizona Cardinal head coach, I think there might be a little bit more wiggle room for him to bring in somebody, because he's going to be the defensive minded guy, right? We just need somebody to help teach his ways. And obviously, VJ, it has his own mindset. So that's the way that I like to look at it, but I can be very wrong, and he can stay with whoever, right? Whoever is going to be the Arizona Cardinal head coach. So we'll see. TBD. What's going on, AZ? He says, hey, Mike, do you feel the Cardinals should sign one of these two candidates or wait till the Super Bowl and see other candidates? Honestly, at this very moment, we've waited as long as we've waited as Cardinal fans. I wouldn't mind the Arizona Cardinals reaching out to a Shane Steichen, right? Or even a Jonathan Gannon. I wouldn't mind that at all. Now, Eric Bieniemy as a head coach, I would stay away from Eric Bieniemy as a head coach. There was rumors out there saying that the Chiefs might allow Eric Bieniemy to seek an offensive coordinator position elsewhere because of the fact that nobody sees Eric Bieniemy as a head coach, because they see Patrick Mahomes and they see Andy Reid. So what does Eric Bieniemy need to prove to everybody that he can do it? He needs to go to another team. So I would want the Arizona Cardinals to possibly reach out to maybe a Shane Steichen or a Jonathan Gannon, just to kind of, we've waited so long already. Why not, right? We've already waited as long as we did. So now if these are the only two options the Arizona Cardinals go through, I've heard so many good things. And let me tell you, so many good things about Lou Anarumo. So many good things from Bengals fans, from some of the national media out there. So I like the idea of Lou Anarumo, but the issue is that we are going to be rolling the same way that we did with Steve Wilkes and Cliff Kingsbury, right? Two guys that have never been a head coach. So that is the worrisome that comes along with this. What's up, Devin? He says, go Chiefs. Well, I don't know who I'm going for at this very moment. I truly don't for the Super Bowl. I don't know who I'm going for. Appreciate the contribution, though. But that's just kind of the way that it's been rolled out for the Arizona Cardinals, right? Because even if it's a Jonathan Gannon that we do decide to bring in, or a Shane Steichen, none of them have been head coaches at all. But I'm going to be leading to the side of, I'm trying to think positive here, right? I'm trying to think positive. I want to see what these guys can do before we crucify them. But before we start to hang these guys, we still don't know what they're going to do, right? Free agency is in next month. We got the draft in April. You don't know how many people's minds are going to change in 2 months. All these people that are trying to throw themselves off a bridge, trying to throw themselves off of buildings, they might change their tune in 2 weeks, in 3 weeks. Maybe there might be news about DeAndre Hopkins staying. They might change their tune. So I'm going to lean to the side of, I'm not going to be as hasty as some other people are because of Brian Flores declined us. I'm not going to think of it that way. I truly am not. I think that a lot of people were upset because we have now become a society where if our prediction comes to fruition, people start to lean very, very heavy on your word. If your prediction doesn't come true, people start questioning you. That's the society that we're living in right now. And I think a lot more people are mad, not because Brian Flores, the name, right, of what he can become, but I think the prediction of what people thought him being in the links between him and Monty Osenfort, I think people's egos are hurt. That's what I think. I think people's egos are hurt that their prediction didn't come true. I think that's what it is at. I think that's where we're at right now. I think the Arizona Cardinals need to do what's best for them. And if it's not Brian Flores, deuces. That's all I got to say about that. But let's continue on the stream. Let's talk about the two seeming to be the two candidates for the Arizona Cardinals, right? The Arizona Cardinals, two candidates heading into the 2023 season. Now, it's not a for sure thing, right? It's definitely not a for sure thing. But when we're thinking of Lou Anarumo, let's talk about him first. 56 years old, right? Seems to be a guy that's been in the coaching world for a very, very, very long time. 1989 is when he started coaching. Yo, that's when I was born. 1989. He's been coaching for that long. Very long time. Now, in terms of him being in the NFL, it took some time for him to, get out of the college realm and make sure that he can get an NFL position, right? His first opportunity was in the Miami Dolphins, 2012 to 2017. Defensive back coach for the Miami Dolphins. 2015, he was an interim defensive coordinator in 2015, and then he got his opportunity. Well, not so much, right? Then he moved on over in 2018 to the New York Giants as a defensive back coach, and then he got his opportunity for the Cincinnati Bengals 2019 to present, being the defensive coordinator for the Cincinnati Bengals. Now, to me, I do think that the Arizona Cardinals can very well benefit from having a Lou Anarumo. When you're thinking of a head coach, now I got this wrong, and I'm going to be the first to say this out here right now, right? I was very, very leaning heavy on we should be going offensive-minded head coach because of this. That's the way that I was thinking. I was wrong, right? I'm going to come out here and say I was wrong. I think the most important thing the Arizona Cardinals need to do is bring in a leader of men. That's what we need to do. Bring in a leader of men, somebody that's going to be able to change the culture, somebody like a Nick Sirianni. Nobody out there said that Nick Sirianni was going to take this team to the Super Bowl, maybe with the exception of Eagles fans, right? Maybe with the exception of Eagles fans. Out of the 10 new head coaches that was hired last year, 5 of those head coaches brought their teams into a into a playoff run, right? 5 of those coaches got themselves into a playoff contending team, right? 5 of those coaches, the new ones that came in. And I don't think anybody sat there and said, oh, this person's going to take our team to the playoffs. No, at all. I'm leaning onto the side of let's see if we can bring somebody in here that's going to be able to change the culture of this organization. And I get it. We're going to have somebody come out and say, well, why change? Like, why is it going to change now, right? We've had so many years of just mediocrity, so much, ugliness of this organization. Why am I so positive now? It's a good question. That's a good question, right? I'm being positive because I don't like the alternative. I'm not trying to be as negative. We all know that these last 2 or 3 years of the Cliff Kingsbury's experience, I was as negative as I possibly could be, right? I don't want him here. I knew from year 2 that he wasn't going to be the guy to get us the Super Bowl. I knew it. Now, that rubbed people the wrong way, probably. But now I am looking at it on the other side. We got a new era, a new regime, a new opportunity for somebody to come in here and give us their vision of the new 2023 Arizona Cardinals. And I'm not in the boat of automatically try to hang the guys because they weren't my prediction. It doesn't matter that they weren't my prediction, right? I'm going to sit here and say this right now. This was my prediction in terms of people that I wanted to replace Cliff Kingsbury. Number 1, Sean Payton, if attainable, right? Number 2, Jim Harbaugh. Number 3, Ken Dorsey. Number 4, Shane Steichen. Number 5, D'Amico Ryans or Frank Reich. None of those people are now the Arizona Cardinals head coach, right? Shane Steichen and Ken Dorsey are the only ones that could possibly be the Arizona Cardinals head coach. It doesn't matter that my prediction was wrong. I want the best for the Arizona Cardinals. That's where I'm at. So Lou Anarumo, I've been hearing so many good things about him. Changing culture, leadership, leader of men, changed our defense from the Bengals fans. And I'm going to hear it. I want to hear from the Bengals fans that have lived through it since 2019 to present. I don't want to hear from these big national medias that are going to put their own spin, their own narrative in this whole situation. I'm not going to be doing that. I want to hear it straight out of the horse's mouth. And I'm sorry, I'm not trying to say the Bengals fans are horses. I'm not saying that. That's what the analogy I'm going to use. They say that he's got very, very high praise, changed their defense. I'm going to listen to them over the fact of listening to these big national medias that are trying to obviously make a big narrative about. Let me get to Kenny. What's up? Thanks for the contribution. He says we need we need a coach now to get ready for the combine and free agency. You're right. You are 110% right. Yesterday on yesterday's stream, I'm not a fan of the timeline. I'm not a fan of the timeline. Now, I truly do think that the Arizona Cardinals right now benefited better if we knew who we wanted, right? We benefited a lot better if we got our head coach. Imagine hiring either Mike Kafka or Lou Anarumo first, right? Mike Kafka had more interviews. Mike Kafka had more interviews than Lou Anarumo in terms of being a head coach. Imagine we're living in a world that Mike Kafka got hired first. This narrative wouldn't be out here, right? This narrative of nobody wants to coach the Arizona Cardinals because Kyler Murray. This narrative wouldn't be put out here. I agree. The timeline isn't the best. I agree with that. But Michael Bidwell and Monty Osenfort both said that this is what they're going to do. They're going to make sure that they're hiring the right person, getting the right people in the building, not the big flashy names, not the names that were, given to us by these big national media people. They're going to make sure that they're bringing in the right people, the people that want to be in this position. That's who we need to be bringing in the office, right? The guy who has the eye of the tiger. That's who we need. So that's Lou Anarumo. Let's talk about Mike Kafka. Now, he's very interesting, right? Very interesting. Now, if we did go this route, he's 35 years old. He's very young. He's younger than Cliff. He's younger than Cliff Kingsbury. Now, that's not a knock. That's not a knock on Mike Kafka. If we truly go the Mike Kafka route, like I said, I'm going to allow this man to play it out and see what happens, right? I'm going to know if he's going to be the head coach of the future in 2 years in, 3 years in. I'm going to know. And you might hear a different tune, but I still want to see what these guys can do, giving them the opportunity that we have, right? Now, Mike Kafka was a player, which if you like, then that's cool. 2010 to 2015, he was a player. That's cool, right? So was D'Amico Ryans, right? Now, as a coach, he became a Kansas City offensive quality coach in 2017. He stayed with Kansas City until 2021 with a couple different positions, one of them being a quarterback coach. I know I saw some people out there saying that Kafka was a reason why Patrick Mahomes is the way that he is, right? That's what people are saying, or at least helped him develop to where he's at right now. If you want to see that way, cool. Awesome. I'm down with that. I mean, that's fine. Now, Mahomes isn't the only one that has helped, right? Or quarterback that he's helped. He's also spent some time with the New York Giants as the offensive coordinator, 2022 to present. Daniel Jones was seen to be a bust, ladies and gentlemen, an absolute bust before this year. B-U-S-T, bust. So many people came out and said the same darn thing. He is terrible. Kyler Murray is the best quarterback coming out of that draft, people said, right? But now that Daniel Jones has got a new coaching staff, Brian Dable, Mike Kafka, obviously his name starts to get a little bit more intriguing, right? Maybe indeed we can bring in a Mike Kafka, spend some time as a player, spend some time with Patrick Mahomes, spend some time with Daniel Jones, made Daniel Jones better. Honestly, I think the two options that we have, although the name isn't flashy, although the name isn't big, but really think about it this way, ladies and gentlemen. If the Arizona Cardinals hired one of these two potential coaches and they hired him 2 or 3 weeks ago, nobody would be trying to throw themselves off a building. Nobody would be trying to throw themselves off a bridge, because the way that people see it is that, oh, we wanted this guy so bad, we wanted to wrap him up, right? That's the way that people would see it. If Kafka got hired 2 weeks ago, nobody would blink. But because we're sitting right now in February, days before the Super Bowl, now people want to start getting a little antsy. And I get it. I'm right there with you as well. I don't like this timeline. I think this timeline is very, very not good, because you're right. We need to get ready for the combine. We need to get ready for free agency. We got to get ready for the draft. There's a lot of things to get ready. So this timeline isn't great. And I'm right there with you. I would rather know who our head coach was already. But Kafka is very intriguing. Now, intriguing doesn't mean he's going to translate to be the next Andy Reid. No, it doesn't mean that. But intriguing does mean, can he be the leader of men? Can he be the guy that changed the culture of this organization? And so does Lou Anarumo, right? At least the way that I like to think of it as. What's up, Illadre? He says, I hope we keep Zach Allen and Byron Murphy. That's a big test for Monty Ossenfort. Monty Ossenfort yet has done nothing. Nothing. So I have nothing to judge him on. I have nothing to judge him on. I don't think the delay in what we're seeing here is due to Monty Ossenfort. I don't think that. No, I don't think that at all. I think Michael Bidwell does maybe have his hand too much close in that cookie jar. Yes, I do. But I do think Michael Bidwell wants to win. I think Michael Bidwell truly wants to win. Maybe he's not going about this the right way, possibly, right? But I agree with you. Zach Allen and Byron Murphy, I think they need to be, right? I think they need to be. Because if you think about it, Byron Murphy, if we don't have him, we're right back at square one. Who's our number one cornerback? We don't have that. So free agency is going to be very interesting. The draft is going to be very interesting. But I think the Arizona Cardinals need to start looking at the Seattle Seahawks and think of it that way. We need to hit on at least 4 of these 8 picks. 50%. And I get it. It's so hard to get those picks to actually work. But exactly like the Seattle Seahawks did, they got like 4 or 5 starters in their team in this year as a rookies. Like that's what we need to replicate. We need to make sure that we get people that we're going to obviously be the best in their positions, right? And actually contribute to this team. And if Vance Joseph tries to sit either Will Anderson or Jalen Carter, he's out. Let me just say that right now. He's out. So I definitely agree. I definitely agree. I like Zach Allen. I do like Zach Allen. And I don't want to be put in the same situation that we were in, what's the word? With Hassan Reddick, right? I don't want to be put in that same position. Because that Hassan Reddick thing hurts. It hurts. Not choosing Hassan Reddick and choosing Chandler Jones, right? Over Hassan Reddick, it hurts. So we have an opportunity here to get a Will Anderson. We have an opportunity to get a Jalen Carter. And I think we need to pounce at that. Because right now, Bosa and Quentin Williams seeming to be a better, right? At least for a lot of people's eyes. Nick Bosa. Let's say Nick Bosa. Maybe not Quentin Williams. But Quentin Williams is getting better and better. As well, at least what we're hearing from Jets fans. But Nick Bosa, man, superstar. Superstar. That's what we need. We need to build our team young. That's what we need to do. So those are the 2 people that we have right now. Lou Anarumo and Mike Kafka. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say don't panic. It's up to you. I mean, that's up to you guys. I'm not going to try to convince anybody here, right? I mean, it's what it is. If you guys want to panic, and that's fine. I mean, that's your decision. I'm taking the route of let's see what these guys can do. That's the route I'm taking. So here we are, right? Here we are. Now, for the new people that have come in here, I appreciate you guys for tuning in, by the way. Definitely do me a huge favor. If you guys haven't done so already, smack the like button on this video and subscribe for more Arizona Cardinals content. We're on the road to 12K. Now, we are going to be opening up the phone lines later on in the stream because I want to hear from a lot of the Arizona Cardinal fans out there that think that this is not the way that they would have liked this situation to go down, right? So that's who I want to really listen to. But I'm open ears to kind of really figure out what a lot of people are saying out there, right? Because you guys already heard my opinion. So the phone lines will be opening up probably in the next 10 minutes or so. So I can go ahead and give you guys the last 15 minutes of the show to get people in here to see what you guys have to say. And we'll go from there. We do got a contribution coming in here. What's up, Tanner? He says, do Lou and Mike have any upcoming interviews with AZ? Great question. Great question. Today is Mike Kafka. Great question. Today is Mike Kafka. That's a second interview today. Lou Anarumo is later on in the week. That's what we know. I believe it's Thursday or Friday. I'm not 100% sure. Let me look into it. I think it's Thursday, if I'm not mistaken, in terms of what his timeline is going to be. But yes, I know Kafka is today though. That's his second interview is today. In terms of Anarumo, it is this week. Friday. Okay, appreciate it. RV Davey. Thank you so much. RV Davey. Friday. Yeah. Friday. So today is Kafka. Yes, Wednesday was supposed to be Flores. So believe it or not, Flores was supposed to be Wednesday. But obviously that didn't happen, right? So Friday, it's supposed to be Anarumo. So we are doing the second interviews this week, and it's seeming to be getting narrowed down. And I think those are the two candidates we have right now. Unless the Arizona Cardinals throws a Hail Mary out there and they try to bring in Shane Steichen, Jonathan Gannon, right? Unless something like that happens, we'll see. The Arizona Cardinals have done a lot of surprising moves this off season that I cannot predict, but we're here for the ride. We're here for the ride. Tanner, appreciate you. No, thank you. Kafka's via Zoom today. Yes, Kafka's today. Let's keep a look at the chat here. Yeah, no, for sure. Jude the dude. No, I got you, man. And that's the thing, too. And a lot of people, here's the thing, right? When we're looking at this situation, we got two potential candidates that can be good, right? They can be very good. Think about it this way. When Bruce and I'm not trying to at all compare Bruce Arians to any of these two. So I know there might be people to be like, oh, you're comparing them. No, I'm not trying to. What I'm trying to say is that when Bruce Arians came in here, he wasn't the big name out there. He wasn't the big covenant name that people were like, he's a top tier. He's going to change your organization. He wasn't. But Bruce Arians is probably one of the best head coaches that we've had in modern time, Arizona Cardinals. Best. So I'm going to try to lean heavy here, right? I'm going to try to lean heavy to the positive side and saying that Kafka could possibly be that guy, right? And maybe Lou Anarumo can be that guy. We've seen some things, right? Especially in the draft, right? We've seen some things, especially in the draft, where teams, they overlook a specific player and they happen to be one of the best wide receivers out, right? We see it all the time. So just because these teams don't sought after look for a Lou Anarumo or hire a Mike Kafka, because Mike Kafka had like 2+ interviews. Like I think he met with the Colts. I think he also met with the Panthers, if I'm not mistaken. He was getting interviews. Mike Kafka was getting interviews. He didn't get the job, right? But the Arizona Cardinals might be the best fit. Lou Anarumo, right? We got some options. But yeah, so we'll see. We got some money in the chest and hoping for Lou, but we'll cheer for whoever it is. Exactly. And I think that's what it's coming down to here, right? Why not cheer for them? They're the head coach of the year, your Arizona Cardinals. Why not cheer for them? Got a lot of people that are very, 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 very automatically calling this a L. I don't understand it. We haven't seen what Monty Ossenfort can do. We haven't seen it. What if he drafts one of your best defensive players out in college right now? Is he still an L? What if he brings back DeAndre Hopkins? Is it still an L? Right? So, I mean, we'll see. Both interviews are via Zoom. Appreciate you, John Paul. Yes. So Tuesday, which is today, is going to be Mike Kafka, and then Friday is supposed to be Lou Anarumo. So yeah, thank you so very much, everyone. Appreciate you guys for being here. By the way, we are going to open up the phone lines. I think it is time for us to listen to what you guys have to say, right? You guys already heard from me. You guys already heard from all of the stuff that I have to say. I do like the two potential candidates. I don't think the Arizona Cardinals whiffed. I'm not going to try to buy into this narrative that the Arizona Cardinals or nobody wants to coach Kyler. If you want to come out here and say it, that's fine. I'm excited to hear what you guys have to say. So opening up the phone lines, ladies and gentlemen, if this is your first time here, what I do is I put a link in the chat on YouTube. If you're watching this on Facebook, if you're watching this on any other platform other than YouTube, you might have to come on to YouTube because the link will be pinned in the chat of YouTube. All you need to do is click on that link and jump on in. But we are going to be opening up the phone lines, ladies and gentlemen. Popcorn emoji in the comments below. We know how crazy it can get when we got some fans coming in here, but we also do know that there could be some very, very good things to talk about when it comes down to what other people have to say. So the link has been pinned, ladies and gentlemen. There it is. Jump on in, click on through, and let's go ahead and have a conversation. Let's have a conversation. Let's see what you guys have to say about the potential candidates of the Arizona Cardinals and, either Lou Anarumo or Mike Kafka. So link has been pinned. There it is. Come on through and let's see what you guys have to say. Because I'm getting a lot of comments. I'm getting a lot of comments. A lot of comments out there. People already giving up on the season, which I don't get. But here it is. There's the link. All right, let's get my guy AZ Fan in here. AZ Fan, you are live on the AZ Sports Fan on YouTube. Talk to me, man. How are you feeling about this coach search so far?
Can you hear me? Sorry, I'm at work right now too, so I'm doing this at the same time.
Oh, you're good, man. I hear you.
All right, awesome. If I'm being honest, a lot of things with this coaching search have been very stressful. Especially because we thought we were going to get Sean Payne. He was in the building for 9 hours, and then that didn't pan out. Okay, well, who else we had? Oh, maybe Brian Flores. Nope, that didn't happen either. So it's just like, okay, well, let's just trust the process. What else can we really do as fans? We got to trust in Michael Bidwell. We got to trust in Monty Osenfort and see what they can do. If Michael Bidwell really wants to win like he did in 2008 and like he did in 2015, then okay, let's trust the man and what he's going to do and who he's going to hire. If we hire Kafka, okay, we're going to cheer for him. If they hire Anarumo, okay, we're going to cheer for them. If they hire anybody from the Eagles or the Chiefs, okay, we're going to cheer for them. I'm just sick and tired of the narrative as well as like, okay, we didn't get Brian Flores, boo-hoo, whatever. He didn't want to be here, so what, right? If you want to be here as an Arizona Cardinal head coach and you want to turn this thing around and you want to win a Super Bowl with Kyler Murray, then so be it. Let's get that done. Let's get it moving. I think a lot of us fans are just so itchy at, trying to get a Super Bowl, trying to win. I think that's what, like, a lot of fans are just gnawing at the bit. Like, okay, we want this now. We want this now. It's like, this takes time. And it's going to take maybe a little longer. Maybe we have to wait a little longer. And if that's the case, okay, fine. As long as we get the right guy in this organization to win a dang Super Bowl.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think when it comes down to it, and I hate bringing the Cliff and the Kime, but that did take a little too long before we ended up letting him go. This is the result, right? When people rebuild, this is what happens. We got to look for different people. We got to look different vision to see what happens. I know you are in I'm sick of the Kyler Murray thing. You do like Kyler Murray, right? Like you're willing to see at least one more year, right?
Yeah, no, exactly. And here's the thing. People don't understand it's not just the quarterback.
Yeah.
It's not just Kyler Murray. You look at Steve Keim. He drafted DJ Humphries eons ago already. We've never drafted a top-tier lineman ever since DJ Humphries. Yeah. You can't win a game on the offensive side without an offensive line. Kyler Murray had an offensive line at Oklahoma. He had an offensive line at high school. Look what happened when he had an offensive line. He did tremendous things. And ever since he's been in the NFL, he's never had a top 10 line at all. So I think people are just bashing on Kyler Murray because, oh, he plays video games. Oh, he wastes his time. Why in the hell would he be in the NFL? Why would he be the first number 1 overall draft pick if he wasted that much time?
Yeah.
So it's astounding to me that people think of this narrative and push it so hard just to get rid of this quarterback, just to get rid of Kyler Murray. People need to understand he was great before the NFL, before you put him with Cliff Kingsbury and Steve Keim. He failed under Steve Keim and Cliff Kingsbury. You can't win with a screen game. You can't win with no linemen. You can't win with top tier, like look at Patrick Mahomes. They always consistently have a line. Look at the Eagles right now. They have a top line.
Yeah.
So you can't just bash Kyler Murray because, oh, it's his fault. No, it's not. Give him one more year. Let's see where it goes. If it sucks, okay, fine. Then we draft the quarterback.
Yeah, exactly. Then we most likely got a very high draft pick, right? If it sucks and then we have another year like this, we have a very high draft pick, maybe a quarterback in then the following year. But Jalen Carter to me and Will Anderson are very, very intriguing, and I don't want to pass them up. But I'm going to let you go, man. I got another people coming on. I appreciate you, brother.
No, I appreciate you.
All right. All right, let's move on over here to RV Davey next. Now, the link is pinned, ladies and gentlemen. Click on the link and come through if you want to go ahead and put your thoughts on here. I have a lot of comments basically saying, well, Mike, this, and that, and they want me to read a whole paragraph. I'm not going to be reading the whole paragraph, ladies and gentlemen. Go ahead and jump on the link. This is the best way to do it. RV Davey, you are live on the AZ Sports Fan here on YouTube. Talk to me. How are you feeling about what's going on with the Cardinals?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. This upcoming season is going to be a rough one because if you look at the schedule, we have so many hard games to play this upcoming season. So that being said, I think our season is going to be hard to really make gain with anything. I think we got to go with these young players. So if we got 3 draft picks, I think we got to just plug them in and use them.
Yeah.
And as for Kyler, I'm kind of upset about him, but I'm getting over him. But yeah, we got to either get Will or Jalen in there, and I'm for Anarumo if we can land him. Hey, I'm for whoever we can land at this point. I mean, it's disappointing. All these guys have come in and just turned us down. And I listened to Sean Payton when he was introduced in with the Denver Broncos, and he didn't have a lot of good things to say about our ownership here in Arizona. It's kind of sad that he said that, but it is what it is,
Oh, if you don't mind me asking, I didn't actually listen to it. What did he say, if you don't mind me asking?
He said that there's an issue with ownership and management here in Arizona.
Gotcha.
There's an issue. Now, I would love to see us go after who's that USC quarterback? What's his name? Caleb Williams?
Caleb Williams, yep.
Yeah, we should. If we're gonna lose, and I think I hate to say it, but I don't want us to lose. But if we were to just bomb this season, then I would love for us to get that number 1 or 2 pick and pick that guy up. What the heck? Why not?
Yeah. I mean, at this point, I think Kyler Murray's got a big test coming his way. If he does come back in 10 games, he's got an opportunity to win a lot of big games, right? And if he can't do it, we know, right? We know it wasn't Cliff. Then we'll see what happens from there. Our RBD, any last thoughts?
Yeah, we got a lot of holes to plug in this year. It's crazy. The free agency with Murphy. I listened to the Vikings this past couple days. They are very hardly interested in Murphy, D-Hop, and Allen, all 3.
Oh, you said we're interested in bringing them back?
Oh, no, they want to bring them into the Vikings organization.
Oh, I hate hearing that. Okay.
Yeah.
I appreciate you, RV Davey. Thanks so much, man. Later, dude.
Just to give you an insight. All right. Thanks a lot, man. Mike, for having me.
Of course. Oh, snap. Okay. Dang it. That broke my heart. Okay. We need to bring him back. We need to. Obviously, DeAndre Hopkins is a huge piece. And Kyler Murray is better with D-Hop than he is without him. Let's be honest here. Byron Murphy is our number 1 cornerback. And then Zach Allen, we've seen him flourish. I don't want it to be another Hassan Reddick, but we'll see. All right, let's bring Jean-Paul in here. Jean-Paul, you are live on the AZ Sports Fan on YouTube. Talk to me, man. How are you feeling about the Cardinals?
I'm feeling good. I think, as I said, Monty's doing what he said he was going to do. Look under every stone and take their time making a head coach. And as far as the free agents, I think I'll be fine. I think there's some legitimacy to kind of VJ staying. So if we're going to get defensive players, we already know who they're looking at. You know what I mean? It's either going to be if they don't trade down, it's either going to be Jalen Carter and or Will Anderson. Yeah. As far as the head coaches, I like Kafka, but I'm just a little bit worried because, we don't know who he's going to bring in.
Yeah.
And I'm not really quite confident with VJ calling a defense again, because if it's Kafka being there, then VJ is going to be calling a defense.
Yeah.
But there's also a chance that since VJ and Lou are whatever his last name is, they have a connection. So at least we know that if the game plan is not working, we have the head coach that's going to be changing it because VJ hasn't figured out the run yet. And as far as on the offensive side, I think Lou has a lot of connections, so it's going to be important for who the OC is. I think right now it's a different structure than Cliff, and that's the part that people have a hard time wrapping their head around is that other teams have a head coach that leads the staff and the players. So so the head coach are basically just talk to the players. Then it's kind of the delegation of tasks. So he leads. He has to be kind of quote unquote leader of men, not just the players but the staff too. So because there's the offensive coordinator, quarterback coach that's to worry about Kyler Murray, and the head coach is just make sure that everyone's ready and make sure that everyone's on task. You know what I mean? Like a good manager does, and kind of show them what to, kind of help them guide through the way, and kind of show them like, because the head coach, I think the head coach main responsibility really is you see more in the game than off the game.
Yeah.
Because it's on the game. He has to be the one that has the final say of which play call we're running, when are we running, which defense are we gonna go with 4-3 or 3-4? Because everyone thinks kind of it's a mishmash of everything now. No one plays base defense because everyone passes now. You know what I mean? So I kind of see Lou being a good thing at that. I'm just worried with Kafka, but Kafka being able to develop Kyler is really enticing because we can only go as far as Kyler goes.
That's true.
And I think I had a theory that the reason Kyler and Cliff clash is because Cliff always tells the media that like, oh, we go as far as Kyler goes. So like for me, if my boss was to tell to tell our supervisor, like if my manager tells my supervisor whatever that if JP could, if that this house is up to JP how he wants to run it. Right. And then I run it my way, and then my supervisor says, "No, let's run it my way." See the clash there? It's kind of like that it's kind of like that mixed messaging. Yeah. And I feel like Kyler jumping on, the media jumping on Kyler is kind of like when Barry Bonds was with San Francisco. Like he was good, but they just hated him for like the little thing. Yeah. Because if a media member was to go to Kyler, hey Kyler, what do you think about this? Kyler goes, I don't care. And then they get mad because they got nothing to write about, so they just write about something that like more out of nothing. And then Cliff would talk to you for like half an hour. Who do you think they like more? The guy that talked to you for half an hour, the guy that say, I don't care. They're going to go with the guy that says half an hour, even though the guy that told you half an hour didn't tell you anything, except you guys just shoot the shit for half an hour. Yeah. It's like the same things. And, we'll see. I mean, I definitely like what I'm seeing as far as like our future goes. I think it's a little bit different because, Monty is, as long as Bidwell allows Monty to do his job, we should be good.
I agree, brother. All right, man. Appreciate you as always, man. Have a great rest of the day, man. Good insight. Later, dude. That's something I didn't even think about. That I did not. That's a good thing here from Jean Paul actually bringing that up here. The fact of the whole situation of I mean the media can portray anything that they want, right? And Kyler Murray, when you look at him, like it might be hard to carry a conversation with Kyler. He seems to be very introvert. He seems to be very like lead by example type of guy. He doesn't seem to be one of those guys that wants to give too much, right? He's a very man of minimal words. When you think of Cliff Kingsbury is very, very people person, right? You want to engage in a conversation with him because he would continue that conversation, right? I've never thought of that. So the media, maybe, I mean, that's a good thought there. Yeah. So we do have a chance for one more call. The link is pinned right there. If you want to jump on, click on the link and jump on in if you want to come on in. We have a chance for one more call to see what you guys have to say. And we got it coming up. We got Shadow Raven coming up. So Shadow Raven, you are live on the AZ Sports Fan on YouTube. Talk to me. Take us home. Let us know how you're feeling about the Cardinals.
Okay. What's up? How are you doing?
Good.
Man, I'm really scared for our future. Like, honestly, like I'm scared for this season because I believe we're just going to be like a bottom 5 team again. I really do. And so with that, I think we should just like go try and get the first pick. I think we really need to get Caleb Williams. I can understand why they haven't hired a head coach because why hire like a decent head coach when we're just going to go and probably have to fire him the next season, because you considered he got in first pick, like that's right. What the Texans did. They fired Lovie Smith. They hired him for a season, and then they just got rid of him like that. And it was like, it's just how it's going to be. And really, I don't want to hire like a coach we just end up getting rid of in a year or two. That's not going to help us out. That's why I think they're doing this smart thing. I feel like, in my opinion, and waiting for like a good candidate in the future to come out, And
gotcha.
That's what I see. So
yeah, no, that's fair. Actually, I never thought of it that way. So you're saying maybe they might be doing a kind of Lovie Smith situation where they're going to be going through a new regime anyways, like new QB, new head coach.
Yes. Well, I mean, considering Kyler's going to be out probably till November. I mean, maybe like who knows. And we're definitely losing all those games. I feel like I just don't see us winning with Trace McSorley or Colt McCoy. You know, if he comes back, I mean,
yeah.
So,
all right, man, that's fair. I get the fear. I get the fear. What do you think of Kyler Murray? What do you think about this whole narrative? Do you believe it? And it's just a conversation. It's not something for me to jump on. I'm just curious to figure out what you think.
So, I mean, I think Kyler is apparently I think he can be a little like hard to deal with, but like there are certain players like that, you know, who can be hard to deal with, like Aaron Rodgers, you know.
Yeah.
You know, they dealt with him and he's been great. As long as you let him ball, I feel like he can do great. It's just if he does keep up like this, where it scares head coaches away, I mean, I think it would be time to move. And if we did get the number 1 pick, Caleb Williams sitting right there, cheap money, like compared to the money we're spending on Kyler right now.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
you can keep him on the roster too. I mean, right? If nobody wants Kyler, keep him on the roster. Very expensive backup quarterback like Jimmy G was.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And I mean, and then we just build around him for the future. And so that would be how I do it.
That's honestly a very good. I appreciate you, Shadow Man. Thank you so much for coming through, man. Have a great rest of your day, brother. Later. Yeah, honestly, good calls. Honestly, good calls overall. I appreciate you guys for coming through. I truly do. Honestly, I think in the grand scheme of things here, the Arizona Cardinals, right? We are in a really, 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 really weird situation, right? This can be played out any which way. Now, I think Caleb Williams is very intriguing, right? I mean, I'm not going to be, goo gagaing over somebody who hasn't hit the draft yet, but so far his intangibles look very darn good for Caleb Williams. So if that's the route the Arizona Cardinals want to go through, well, I'm going to be honest with you guys. None of these quarterbacks in this draft really get me very excited. I'm not going to lie to you. I would rather go with a for sure thing, Jalen Carter or Will Anderson. That's why I don't want to move off of Kyler. Like, I'm not trying to say Kyler Murray is going to be with us until 2027. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, let's make sure that we get these for sure generational talents coming through. Okay, we got Fernando. Fernando, you're going to take it home. You're the last caller here of the AZ Sports Fan YouTube. Talk to me, man. How are you feeling about the Cardinals?
What's up, man?
What's up, brother?
I don't know. I kind of just jumped into the stream right now, and I'm just like, why are we talking about drafting a quarterback? I'm like, what's going on? Yeah, I don't want that. But I just wanted to give my opinion on the head coach.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be Mike Kafka. I kind of like Lou Anarumo.
Oh, I think I might have lost you. Okay, I think I might have lost you, Fernando. Oof. I think this is going to be a very good... Okay, maybe cut the camera off. Okay, I got you. Maybe cut the camera off. It helps out.
Did you get me back?
I got you back. If you want to cut off the camera, let's see if that works out.
Hold on. I can't hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yep.
Yeah, I can't hear you though.
Okay, give me your take.
All right, man. Okay. Let's see.
Okay, let's do this. Okay, I don't think it's gonna work out, Fernando. So let's do this. So we got a super chat coming in here. We got Kenny saying Sanders would be good. I think isn't that the kid of what's his name? Primetime, right? Isn't that Deion Sanders' kid? Is that who you're talking about? We'll see, man. We'll see what happens, man. So I appreciate you guys for coming through. I truly did think that Fernando call is going to be very, very good, dropping some gems, dropping some dimes. But we are going to close shop here, ladies and gentlemen. I truly do appreciate everybody for coming through. Like I said a little earlier, make sure you download Underdog Fantasy. Use promo code AZSF. We do have a huge game coming this coming weekend where if you want to win some money, you can do so with Underdog Fantasy. And right now there is a special. I think it's going to be dropping in the later part of February the 9th. They are going to give essentially this thing right here, right? When you're seeing Jalen Hurts 0.5 yards, you're obviously going to take the higher on that, right? That is an easy win right there. And that's a special going on here. You have the ability to go ahead and 20 times your money as long as you do 5 different players. Now, you do need to have a max bet of $20 limit when you are trying to get this Jalen Hurts special, but just please keep in mind that use promo code AZSF and download the Underdog Fantasy app today and try to win yourself some money, ladies and gentlemen. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. As always, have a great rest of your day. It's been an absolute pleasure speaking to everybody. Have a great rest of your day. And as always, go Cards.